What's up, everybody? I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. Have you ever heard the saying, rich people stay rich because they live like they're broke, and broke people stay broke because they live like they're rich? How does that make you feel when you hear that? I don't know. I mean, it makes me feel kind of hungry. Okay, but really, think about it. Rich people stay rich because they live like they're broke. How is that possible and how does that make any sense? Like, what does that mean? No offense and all, but Jaspreet, you make no sense. I mean, rich people are the ones that are driving nice cars and living lavish lives. How is that living like you're broke? And what's the point of being rich if you gotta be broke? Well, there's a whole lot more to living like you're broke than just eating cheese and crackers every day, which is why in this video, I wanna talk about how rich people live like they're broke. And as always, before we begin, make sure you hit that thumbs up button just below the screen. When I was a kid, I used to think that if one day I made $100,000 in a year, I'd be balling out rich. Like, I'd be living large, buying all the things I wanted. I'd be sending my parents on vacations across the world, and I'd be able to help my community so much because $100,000 is a lot of money. Well, it didn't really work like that. The first time I made $100,000 in a year, I was a student and I was living broker than ever. My rent during that time, including my gas, my electricity, my water, my cable, my internet, and parking, was less than $400 a month because I didn't even have a room to sleep in. I slept on the living room floor and I kept a mattress topper in the hallway, so when I wanted to sleep, I would just pull this mattress topper into the hallway, go to sleep, and then when I would wake up, I'd fold the sheets, put them away, pick up the mattress, and put it back in the hallway. I didn't have to live like that. I mean, I could have lived in a really nice apartment and drove a really nice car, but I knew that this was my time to build, so I squeezed every penny out of me that I could so I could invest it in myself. And as I started to grow, that's when I realized why people say rich people stay rich by living like they're broke, and broke people stay broke by living like they're rich. Living like you're broke doesn't mean that you're living off of $500 a month or living off of $2,000 a month. Living like you're broke or living like you're rich is relative to you. Like, if you make this much money, and yes, this much money is a technical term. If you make this much money, but you only live off of this much money and you save and invest the other part, well, you're living like you're broke. But if you make this much money and then you spend this much money, or you spend this much money living large and buying things for yourself, well, now you're living like you're rich. If you tell yourself that you're gonna live off of 75% of what you make and you make $40,000 a year after taxes, that means that you get to only spend $30,000 on yourself, and then you save and invest the other $10,000. Now you're living below your means, and because you're living off of a percentage of what you make, if you wanna live bigger but still live broke, you just gotta earn more money. So let's change the scenario up a little bit. Now, you're not making $40,000 a year, you're making $400,000 a year, and you're still living off of the same 75% of your income. So instead of just living off of $30,000 now, you have $300,000 to live off of, and you're still saving and investing $100,000 every year. And as you make more, it's a lot easier for you to live even broker, because now you can live off of just half of what you make, just a measly $200,000 a year. You're living a better life financially, but you're still living broke because half of what you make, or $200,000, is being invested and not being spent on fancy cars. What? How can you call $200,000 a year living broke? Like, you're still living large. Remember, broke is relative. If you ask someone making $25,000 a year, they'll tell you that you're not broke. They'll say that you're just unappreciative. But you're forgetting that broke is relative at all levels. If you compare your $25,000 a year lifestyle here to someone poor in India, the poor person in India will tell you that you're crazy for thinking that you're broke, because your $25,000 a year lifestyle is royalty compared to how they're living. So broke is relative to wherever you are. When you say rich people live like they're broke, it doesn't mean that you'll never spend more than $10 on a meal. It means you're living broke relative to what you make, and this is something everybody should be doing no matter how much money you make, because it's very important to live below your means so you can take this extra money and invest it. This way you have more money coming back to you. Compare that to somebody who is actually broke because they're living like they're rich. Like, you can make $1 million a year and still actually be broke if you're living a $1 million a year lifestyle with a $1 million salary. Trying to look rich today is the reason why the majority of people will never become real rich. So here's what I want you to do. If you are young and you don't have any financial responsibilities yet, I want you to live off of just half of what you make. Yes, 50%, and then save and invest the other half. This way you can live broke today and be a lot richer tomorrow. Yes, I know it's hard and it sucks, but if you want to build your wealth sooner, you gotta put in that sacrifice today. This way you can start earning more. If you're older and you have a family or you have other financial responsibilities, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to just live off of half of what you make, which is why I want you to live off of 75% of what you make and then save and invest the other 25%. Now you're building your financial discipline and you're putting some of your money to work. This way you can have more money coming back, because remember, I'm not telling you to live off of just $50 a month. I'm telling you to live off of half or 75% of what you make. This way, if you want to live bigger, you gotta earn more money. And if you're looking for more tips on how to do that, I'll link a couple of videos in the description below that will teach you how you can earn more. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed our video, hit that thumbs up button and share it with one friend so we can help spread the word. Don't miss our new videos on entrepreneurship, business, and money every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below. That way you actually find out when our new videos are released. And as always, keep hustling.